Hello, in this video I'm going to solve the following diamond level problem, one variable calculus, on the topic of definite integrals. This is a problem from Vietnam. Let f be a function that is continuous on R. If integral from -1 to 1, f of a square root of x squared plus 3 minus x dx equals 10, and if integral from 1 to 3, f of x over x squared dx equals to 3, then integral from 1 to 3 f of x dx is equal to. Pause the video at this point and give it a try to see which one of the given following options is the correct answer to the problem. Okay, now let us solve the problem. I don't know, is it really a diamond level problem or a gold level problem? A little bit lower. But you can also write your comments about the level after you see my solution, or you have a better solution for this problem. Okay, the reason that I found it a diamond level problem, because usually by experience, when I see that I am integrating from a negative number to the positive number of, the opposite of that number, I usually think about evenness or oddness of my function. But in this problem, this idea is not going to work because uh, f is not a given function, so I don't know the rule of that. So I don't know what happens if I change x to minus x because I don't know f. So the idea that I'm usually used to it to solve this type of integrals, or at least start from there, is not working here. Okay, so I was thinking, what can I do? Because the problem apparently is not so complicated. You have two relations and you want to get rid of somehow x squared and things like that. But one thing caught my attention, that the limits of integration are here 1 and 3, and for the question mark is also 1 and 3. And then I realized that for this expression that you see here inside, if I put -1 in, what happens? This becomes 2 plus 1, which is 3. And if I put 1 there, it becomes 2 minus 1, which is 1. Okay, so these are exactly these numbers. So then I was happy that might be the idea is to take this to be u, even though at that point I really don't know how to continue. So let us start from here and say that let u be equal to square root of x squared plus 3 minus x. Okay, usually when this happens, you immediately take the derivative from both sides and try to write your integral in a way that it only depends on your new variable, but it is easy to see it is not possible to do it now here. Okay, so what I did, the trick that I found is to move this to the other side and square both sides. So then it means that this becomes u plus x equals to square root of x squared plus 3. And when I raise them to power 2, this one becomes u plus x to power 2. The right-hand side simply becomes x squared plus 3. Then I actually open this up, the first one squared, plus 2 times the first one times the second one, and plus the second one squared. The right hand side is x squared plus 3. And then what happens, this problematic one is actually cancelled from both sides. And then you can immediately calculate your x in terms of u. And then you can use that to find dx, because that is not hard at all. So what I will do, I will move u squared to the other side, so it becomes 2ux is equal to 3 minus u squared. I divide everything by 2u because I want to isolate my x. So then x becomes 3 over 2u. And then minus, if I divide this by 2u, 1u and 1u are cancelled, so I will get minus 1/2 u. And now I calculate my dx as usual. this one I have to differentiate with respect to u, so the derivative of 1 over u with respect to u itself is minus 1 over u squared, so this becomes minus 3 over 2 u squared, and this one, the derivative of this one simply is minus a half, but what I have to do, I have to also multiply by du. So I achieved the goal at least. So then this means that 10 is equal to this integral, but using this change of variable, what I will do, I would write f of u, and instead of dx, I put this expression, and if you don't mind, between these two, let me factor a minus sign out and write it as positive this expression and positive this expression du. Okay? But what are the limits? As I already told you, when I want to find the limits, x goes from minus 1 to 1. This would then imply that u goes from where to where? If I put minus 1 here and calculate u, it becomes 3. If I put x1, calculate here, u becomes 1. So if x goes from minus 1 to 1, u goes from 3 to 1. Okay? So if this integral is 10, this is guaranteed that this integral is also 10. But if you don't mind, let me take this minus sign out and replace the limits. Okay? So I will take this minus sign and I write from 1 to 3. So everything seems good. Okay, why? Because now I can multiply f of u inside and here, and I can split my integral into two parts. So this becomes integral, this multiplied by that, it gives me, so let me write it, 1 over 3, 3 over 2, u squared f of u, and then I will have plus f of u times 1/2 du. Okay, still I know that this integral is 10. Now I split my integral into two parts, but I will pull the constants out. So this becomes 3 over 2, integral from 1 to 3. I would write f of u over u squared du plus, this becomes 1/2, integral from 1 to 3, f of u du. Okay, now if I ask you, do you know what is this? That is exactly 3. Because you see that this integral and that integral are definite integrals. The only difference is that the variable there is x. Every x is changed to u. And because the variable of definite integration is a dummy variable, so there is no difference between this number and that number. And because this is 3, this is also 3. And that is exactly my question mark. For the same reason, the question mark is integral from 1 to 3 f of x dx, which is exactly the same as integral from 1 to 3 f of u du. Okay, so this is my question mark. Okay, so remember, I started from here, so I realized that 10 is equal to 3 over 2 multiplied by this 3, and then plus 1/2 of my question mark. And that is an extremely simple calculation now. So if I multiply everything by 2, the left-hand side becomes 20, this becomes 9, and this becomes just my question mark. So this means that the question mark is simply 11. Okay? So if we go back, yes, option D is the correct option. Okay? I hope that the video was useful for you. Please write in the comments, do you think that this deserves a diamond level or a little bit lower? Until the next video, be safe and goodbye. Thank you.